So it's being recorded now. So today I'm going to start with ADO.NET. ADO.NET. So ADO.NET Active Directory Objects, and actually ADO.NET is a framework. You can just tell ADO.NET is a framework that connects your front end, your Visual Studio projects to SQL Server database, or let's say database. Okay. So ADO.NET is a framework that connects a Visual Studio project to the database service. So what does this mean? This means, let's say that I have a project here. Let us say that I have a project, and let us say I have this project. Okay, actually this is not the thing that I really want. Let me open a new one. Okay, let us do not worry about this code. We'll be doing that later on again. So let's go to, okay, so this is my form. Let's say everyone, this is my form. This is what you are supposed to design, and I hope every one of you have done that work. So let's say in this part I have something called call assignment history, batch form, one login, program, semester, subject, teacher. Let's say I have a user form, and let's say whenever I click on this create button, all the users should be created and they should be populated onto my grid view. Okay, well, let's say as soon as I create on this create button, the value should be saved into my database tables, and this should be retrieved from my database, and this will be populated onto this grid view. Okay, so there is an interaction from this front end to the database server, and I'm also I'm either saving that information to the database, and I'm also trying to retrieve the information from the database. So my major objective is to save the information to the database, retrieve the information to the database. Okay, so in order to do that operation, there is something in a middleware, and this middleware is ADO.NET. So there are different types of framework available for the connection from the front end to the database. One of them is usually used is ADO.NET, and since ADO.NET is a framework, that means it's a library. It consists of different classes. It consists of different class libraries and classes that will help us to connect to the database and also perform the manipulation on the database table. Okay, so with ADO.NET, what you can do, you can connect your front end to the database. So basically, close this one. So basically, if I want to connect my front end to my database, I would require something called the ADO.NET, which is a framework that consists of different types of class library. Class library, again, the collection of classes, and the classes will help you to connect to the database and also perform the manipulation on the database tables. Okay, so for manipulation on the database means you may be able to insert, you may be able to update, you may be able to delete, you may be able to retrieve, you may be able to do anything that you want that is related to the database. So let me see if I change the name. Okay, this is all changed name. So now ADO.NET has different classes. So let's see. So although it has a different classes, so there are some classes that we'll be using. We will be using, and among these all classes, we will be using SQL connection. We'll be using SQL command. We'll be using SQL execute query. We'll be using execute non-query. We'll be using execute reader, and we'll be also using data table. We'll be working with a data set. Yeah. So SQL connection, SQL command, execute non-query, execute reason, data table. These are some classes that you will be working with while working with the edu.NET. So, problem. So let us go again. So these are things that we will be working on with the. These are the different types of classes that will be working while working with the edu.NET, and everything has a specific work. For example, SQL. For example, SQL connection has its own functionality, SQL command has its own functionality, execute non-query has its own functionality, execute reader has its own functionality, data table has its own functionality, and data set is its own functionality. Now let's see the example for each, and also we'll try to write a program to understand this SQL connections, SQL command, execute non-query, execute reader, data table, and the data set. So we'll try each update. So first thing that you'll have to understand is the SQL connection. So this is the very first thing that we will do. So SQL connection is basically is a connection string. Is a connection string that contains the information of the database, machine name. For example, machine name in this case would be, let's say, on which computer your database is located. Okay, so machine means on which computer your database is located, and so let's say it also includes some security information. So most important thing is for us is the name of the database which you want to connect, and the machine that you want to connect, and the SQL connections SQL connection may depend upon the, let's say, security information will depend upon the as per our necessity. So as per our necessity, we may change the security information. So first of all, let us try to understand what is this. How can you use a SQL connection? So basically, SQL connection is a class. It's a connection string, or let's say it's a class. It is a class. So once you say that SQL connection is a class, obviously it will have an object. So since you have SQL connection is a class, then you can create the object of this class. For example, you can just say SQL connection con equals to new SQL connection. So what does this mean? This means that con is an object of SQL connection, and inside this parameter you pass the connection string. Now I'll tell you how to get this connection string. So SQL connection is basically it's a class, and con is an object of the SQL connection. You can have anything as a object of this SQL connection. Equals to new SQL connection means we are initializing the SQL connection because this is a class, and we are passing a connection string inside this SQL connection class. So string is a combination of the information of the database that you want to connect, machine name, that means the computer on which the database is located, and there are some bit of security information which are required to connect to your database. So this is the basic syntax of a SQL connection, and SQL connection will be required everywhere you want to perform the SQL query. So wherever you want to apply SQL, whenever you want to work with the SQLs, for example, performing insert operation, update operation, delete operation, retrieve operation. So whatever the operation that you want to perform, you would be requiring to provide the SQL connection. So let's see an example for a SQL connection, and then the things will be more clear to you. So before we make a connection, so make sure that you have a you have a Server Explorer on your menu items. So before we start, so you should have a, let's say you should have a Server Explorer out here up to the menu. And if you do not see the Server Explorer here, so what you can do, you can go to the View section and you can just click on the Server Explorer so that you can get a Server Explorer onto the menu item as well. So once you have the Server Explorer, you click on the Server Explorer and you can see there are lots of connections. There are a lot of connected database here. So I am interested on the data connection. So what I will do, if it is for the first time, you might get a different screen, but if it is for the one time if you have already connected. So basically what you will do is we'll simply create an add connection if you have this, or and once you click, if you are doing it for the first time, you might get a different screen in which they will ask you what is the SQL server, what is the database server name, and in that case you have to provide Microsoft SQL Server. And if you click next, and you will be redirected to this screen. You can try it out, and if you have any issue, you can just message me, and I will help you instantly. So basically, what is our server name then? So you can say the server name in our case is a local, because we have connected by using a local server here. And let's say the database name is ISMT assignment database. So this was the database which we created. So once you have a server name defined, once you have a data source defined, which is the Microsoft SQL Server, and once you have a database defined, and you can click on test connection, and once you see test connection succeeded, that means you are able to connect it to the database. Now click on OK. Then once you click on OK, you will see that you have a your Visual Studio will be synced with the database that you have created. So your database will be synchronized with your Visual Studio, and this will be vice versa. So if you create any table here, this will be reflected into your SQL Server, and if you create any table in the SQL Server, that will be reflected over here. So yesterday we created some tables. If you remember, we had created user table, and we had also created stored procedures. So if you refresh the stored procedure, if you expand the stored procedure part, you may see that different stored procedures that we have created out here. So you can see we have create users, delete users, manage users, update users, and we had created manage users as well yesterday. So whatever you create on the SQL Server, this will be reflected over here. Now today, let's see how you can make a SQL connection. How to make a connection first. So in order to make a connection, let us right click on the form. Let's view code, and actually let me delete all the code. I don't need any code today. Let me delete all. Let me delete all because I'll be starting from scratch. I'm going to delete everything. Let me delete. Let me delete this, and let me build this. Maybe I will be getting some error, but I'll fix that error. Okay, I got an error. Let me fix this issue. Okay, let me just so let me see what else issues I have. Okay, one more. So this is, I can't say this. DGB details users click here. So let me again build this. No error. You do not have to understand that part. So let me just go to user form design, and this is the form that I have. And let me go to the view code section, which is even. Let me delete this query. I don't need this code even. So let me go to view code, and let me delete this code. I don't need this code anymore. Let me build it so that I make sure that there is no error. Okay, this is built. Now in order to make a connection, so what you can do is we need a two. Let me delete this. Let me delete this. Okay, this will be already there. You need a you need two namespaces. One is system.data, and other is system.data.SQL point. So we need two namespaces, system.data and system.data.SQL client. And in order to make a connection, so as I have told you, you need a SQL connection class. You need to create the object of a SQL connection equals to new SQL connection, and will provide a connection string. And I'll tell you how to get this connection string. So let us get started. And here I'll just write the code SQL connection con is new SQL connection. And here you need to provide a connection class. Connection string. You need to provide a connection string. Now, how do I get a connection string, everyone? So, in order to get a connection string, there are some chat. Local option, we are trying to connect our front end to the database. Okay, so let us say that we have your front end here. We have a front end here, and what we want to do, once we click on this create button, once we provide all this field, for example, let's say our major objective is, let's say we just logged in and we go to user section and we provide username, password, and once we create on the create button, this will be set to the database. So this is our major objective. Okay, and in order to achieve this objective, we have something called ADO.NET framework, and under this ADO.NET framework we have different classes, and we are going to analyze this each and every classes. So did I answer your question, Lakshan? Okay, okay, thank you for your confirmation, Vinay. So did you get what we are trying to do? Okay, great. So now let's see. So let me just debug the. Okay, so basically now let me go to the again this section, view code section. Now what we do, we created a SQL connection. We created an instance of SQL connection as called, and we defined we instantiated the SQL connection. Basically, whenever you create a class, whenever you create the object of a class, we need to instantiate. That means you need to create a new instance of this class, and we have to store this instance inside a con variable. So once this is done, now we need to just uh, what do you call, you just need to pass the connection string here, and connection string is something like that contains information of the database, that contains information of a computer name, that contains information of the security which is associated by with connecting to the database. So you get it over here, you get it right over to your database. So for example, your database is ISMT assignment database. So if you right click on your database and if you go to the property, I repeat it again everyone because this might not be easy for you. You might right click on the database, you might go to the properties, and you might see a list of properties out here, and out of the different property you might see there is something called connection string, and I am interested on this connection string everyone. So let me just copy this connection string, let me control A and control C, and let me paste it over here, and let me try to explain what are these. So let us say data source. Data source means what is the name of the computer through which you want to bring your database. Where is your database located? So my database is located under a local computer, which is even you can provide the IP of a computer. But since my database is my local computer, I am simply passing this as a local. Now, initial catalog, what does this mean? This means what is the name of the database that you want to connect with. So the name of the database that I want to connect with is the ISMT assignment database. Okay, so name of my database is ISMT assignment database. Now the other thing is the security. So what is security? Integrated security equals to true. What does this mean? This means that whatever the security which has been applied to log into your computer or log into your operating system, the same security will be also applied over here. So we have not applied any additional security, like we have not created a username in our database, so we have not created a password in the database, but we have just applied some basic security. That is the security whichever has been applied in logging to this computer, same security will be applied in logging to this system as well. So do you have a question here, anyone? If you have a question, please raise your question, anyone. Because there is nothing more here to understand. What you will do basically, your connection string will be there. You have to right click, go to property, copy it, paste it. That's it. Nothing to be done here. You do not have to write additional even one line of code. So do you have a question, anyone? So if you have a question, please raise your question in the chat box. Or if you have understood, write yes. If you have not understood, write no. And please confirm me fast, everyone. Please give me a quick confirmation. Everyone, please give me a quick confirmation. I'm waiting for your response. Vinay Srestha, continue. Okay. Okay, Rosen has yes. Okay, thank you, Rosen and Vinay, for your information. And for the rest, I expect you the same. So now let's again get to the different part now here. So different part is something different here. We have a SQL command. So what is the meaning of SQL command now? So we just try to understand what is SQL connection. So basically SQL connection is the one class that will help you to connect to your front end. That means that is a special class that contains a connection string, and connection string contains information related to what you call is a connection string. So now let's try to understand SQL command. So SQL command is again another class. Here's our command that contains a query to perform certain operations, certain SQL operations. For example, it's SQL operations. So it may contain some command to perform some SQL operation. So what could be this operation? This could be CRUD operation. So CRUD means this would contain create operation, read operation, update operation. This may contain delete operation. So it may contain all types of operations. Now, how do you work with SQL command? So let me give you one very simple example. So SQL command may be SQL command, and you have a here SQL statement here, and you need to initialize, you need to pass SQL connection string here. So whatever the connection you have developed, whatever the connection you have initialized here, the same connection string has to be passed after comma. For example, if you have made a connection string as con, so you have to pass con here. The con means this is a connection string. Con means this is a connection string that contains the information of a connection string. That means connection string contains information of a computer name, let's say database name, and the secret information. So SQL command means, so let us say, so this will be SQL command cmd equals to new SQL command. So SQL command cmd equals to new SQL command and SQL statement comma con. Okay, so comma con. So SQL statement is to be written inside the SQL command. So since SQL command is a class, we need to create an object of the SQL command, and I create a CMD as a object of this command, and I instantiated this class, and I pass the SQL statement and comma con. So connection string has to be passed. So SQL statement is written inside the SQL command. So let me give you one example of this SQL command. For example, let's say I want to perform insert operation. So this may contain some SQL command may contain some command like let's say insert into user table, and you may supply some value. Let's say whatever the value you want, Ram, Sam, Hari, Gopal, whatever. So let's say, and we have to pass a connection string here. So this is the SQL command. So let me show you with example. And there are a few things that I'll skip for now, but let us try to understand how this will work. So let me give you an example. So let me go to designer part, and let me create on this create button. And you can see I've already created the SQL connection on top of this button so that this becomes a global variable. So now let us say that I want to write a SQL command. CM is not SQL connection. I just want to write SQL command. CMD equals to new SQL command, and here I want to write my SQL, and here you have to pass a connection string. So just tell me, are you clear with this much, everyone? Just with this statement, are you clear with this statement? Can you please give me a quick information whether you have understood this statement? Please give me a quick information if you have understood this statement. This one, everyone. Lapsun, yes. Only Lapsun is writing yes, and the rest of you, please be interactive. Do not be passive, everyone. Suyes, yes. Rosen, yes, and Lapsun, yes. That means I understand you have understood. Okay, so inside this SQL command, now I'll be writing the SQL that I have been writing in my SQL window. So let us say I want to write insert into user table, and I want to supply some value, and the values are, let's say I want to write Lakshman at the rate Lakshman as a username, and let's say Lakshman at the rate 123 as a password, and I want to provide a role as the admin. Okay, and obviously yes. So this is my SQL. So this SQL we have already seen in our this window, in our SQL window. So see, many of the things are same. Server name equals to local, and authentication is window authentication. That means integrated security equals to true. So if you go to the database and if you go into the ISMT database, and if you right click on this, and if I click on a new query, I'm just trying to write here insert into user table and values, and I've written as Lakshman. Lakshman at the rate 123 and admin. So this is what I have written, and only differential you have not written it on, because here we understand this belongs to this database because we have right click on this database and created on a new query. But here writing this much, you want, it won't be clear on which table you want to insert. But by passing this con here, so if you write here con, so this will understand, this con will go over here and this will check, okay, computer source is local and the database is this one. So this will try to understand, okay, this is the database. Under the database there is a table called user table, and under this table I am supposed to insert this value. But do you think so what do you do next? You just simply right click this and you simply click on this execute, isn't it? So same thing, you have to write a code here. You need to write a code to execute this query. So if you don't execute this query, so you won't be safe. If you simply write here, and then if I just click on login, and if I just click go to users, and if I just click on the create, nothing is going to happen here. Nothing is going to happen until unless I don't execute the query. So let us try to execute this query. But before you execute the query, what you have to do is you have to have two things to do. One is a connection open. So you have to open the connection, and once you are done with the connection, then you have to close the connection. And in between opening and closing the connection, you can execute your query. So here I can execute my query now. So in order to execute the query, as I told you in the SQL data adapter, you have again a new class which is called as execute non-query. So execute non-query is basically a class that can execute the query specified in SQL command. So execute non-query is again will be now useful now. So execute non-query is a class that executes the query specified in SQL command. So in order to execute the query which has been specified in the SQL command, we need to have the execute non-query. So let's see how we can use the execute non-query here. So once between the connection open and connection close, only I can execute this query. So I can just add cmd.execute non-query. So why cmd? Because the object of the SQL command is cmd, and whatever is the query specified in the SQL command, whatever is this let's say SQL specified in the CMD, I want to execute that query. That's why this is cmd.execute non-query. So execute non-query of what? CMD. CMD means this one, and this contains this SQL. So this SQL will be getting executed once I do cmd.execute non-query. Let me execute this, and let me again go to login, and let me go to users, and let me provide some users. Let's say, okay, let me simply create, and nothing is, no message is displayed because I haven't displayed the message here. So let me see whether I have been able to save the data or not. So instead of this, let me just select start from user table. So you can see, although I provided this value in the front end, but I am able to save this value. Alright, so I am able to set this value through my front end. Also, I hard coded it over here. So by just writing SQL command simply is equal to SQL command insert user table, and these values I am able to save this value. Now let me see how is it reflected. So once, let's say, so let me remind you of one thing here again. If you do something like this, insert into user table and values, let's say again some dummy value, let's say dummy user, dummy password, and let's say admin, or let's say user. If I do, what will happen here? This will get executed and you will see one row is affected. How many row are affected? One. That means number of row affected is greater than 0. So I actually need to count how many row has been affected, and I can count the number of row affected. So I can do that by using actually cmd.execute non query also returns the number of row. So this also returns the number of row affected. And I can store that in some variable. For example, I can store that in integer x. I can do integer x is equal to cmd.execute non-query, but since I cannot have a duplicate user, I need to just pass it one. Let's say this one. Rest of the things is will be as it is. So now the value will be stored inside this x, and I can check now if x is greater than 0. That means number of row affected is greater than 0. Then I can say I'll just display some message box here. I'll just display some message here. I can just say message box.show new user has been created. So I can just say new user has been created. Let me save this and let me run it here. And let me go to login. Let me go to users and let me go to create. And you can see new user has been created. That means, so I cannot view it right now here, but I can go view it by going to my table, and I can just do show table data, and I can also view to my visual designer. We can see Lakshman1 and Lakshman@123 with the path role admin has been created out here. So cmd.execute non-query is basically executes the query specified in the SQL command, and we can store that value somewhere, and we can check this value. If it is greater than 0, we can confirm the user has been created. So do you understand this much, everyone? If you have a question out here, please raise your question, or please confirm me if you have understood this part or not. So please confirm me if you have understood this part. So yes. Om Kumar, no. Please confirm me fast. Rosen, yes. Very few confirmation from everyone. Anyway, let me repeat it again what I have done. So let me repeat it from the very beginning. So what we are trying to do. So let us say we are trying to understand this. We are trying to do something like this. What we are trying to do is, let's say once you log in, once you go to create users, we want to populate this value onto our database. So this is our first objective. We want, up to now what I have done, I have just hard coded the value. I have not provided any value from here. So what our major objective is, we want to save this information to our database. So in order to save this information to the database, we have something called ADO.NET framework, which we are discussing today. So ADO.NET is a framework, or let's say this is a collection of class library. And the class library, they are basically the collection of the classes, and there are different types of classes that we will be using. So out of the different classes, we have a class called SQL connection, SQL command, execute non-query, execute reader, data table, data set. So these are the classes that will be working throughout our whole entire project. So basically, SQL connection is the SQL connection class that contains information of the connection string. So connection string basically contains the information of the computer on which your database is located, your name of the database, and the basic security information. So this is related with the SQL connection. So and after the SQL connection, you have something called SQL command. So SQL command is also a class that contains the SQL query to perform SQL operations. So whatever SQL operations can you perform? We can perform the CRUD operation. Create means insert, read, update, and delete operation can be performed by using a SQL command. So how do you write a SQL command? So you can write SQL command by using SQL command. CMD is equal to new SQL command, and you pass the SQL statement here, and you also pass the SQL connection here. Okay, and it's one of the example is SQL command simply is equal to SQL command insert into user table and the values, and we need to pass a connection class here. And whenever we have written a SQL command, so basically once you go over here and once you write this query, what you do, you write the query and you execute the query. So in order to execute the query, you have something called execute non-query. So execute non-query will execute the query which is specified by the SQL command. So if I have a SQL command as a CMD, so cmd.execute non-query will execute the query whichever is specified in the CMD SQL command. So this is what I have done here. So we just created a connection here, and in order to get the connection string, what we did, we simply went to the Server Explorer. We right click on our database. We went to the property and you saw there is a connection string. We simply copied and pasted it over here, and then we created on the create button. We wrote a SQL command CMD, inserting the value of the users. Let's say the values are Lakshman1, Lakshman@123, and admin. And we open the connection. In order to execute this query, we need to open the connection, and I executed this query by using cmd.execute non-query because our SQL command name is cmd. The cmd.execute non-query will execute the query specified by the SQL command, and this will going to reflect the number of row affected. So if the number of row affected is greater than 0, that means your values have been set, otherwise you'll be getting error. So I have stored this value inside a variable called x, and I am checking if whether it's greater than 0. If x is greater than 0, then I can confirm the new user has been created, right? So up to now we have simply hard coded the value. Now let's see how we can read the value from a user. For example, I want to provide this value. I want to read this value from a user. I want to provide this value. I do not want to provide any user like Lakshman at the rate Lakshman, Sam, Hari, Gopal from the front end. No, I do not want to do that. I want to read this value from a text box one. For example, this name is text box txt username. This name is txt password. And this name is txt confirm password, and this name is cmd role. So I want to choose the value from here, and once I click on the create button, I should be able to set this value. But how? Let's say this work now. So instead of writing this hard coded value, I am going to change this concept now here. So in order to read the value from a text box, so I have to make some string concatenation operation here. So how to make a string concatenation here? You can write comma, double inverted comma, and I can write a plus. And then what is the field that you want to read? Where is the username coming from? The username is coming from txt username. So I can write txt username dot text. I need to provide dot text property, and you can do it reverse now. And I'm done with the username. Similarly, I can do with the password. So I just can do txt password, the text. I'm done with the password and reverse it again. Again, I can do plus. I need CMD role. So here CMD role that text, and I am done. So see, it's a very easy. Instead of writing the hard coded value, what I did, I made a string concatenation with my controls. For example, the username is coming from username, password is coming from txt password, and the role is coming from CMD role. Now I do not have to provide the user value here. Rather than I am trying to read the value from the text boxes. So now let me again write if x is greater than 0. I'll display this value. Or if then otherwise there is an error occurred. So I just can tell some error occurred. Okay. So now let me execute this code and then let me show you the output. Now I need to provide from here. For example, let's say I can provide any value like okay, let's say Santi at the rate 123. Santi at the rate 1. I'm not taking this password and confirm password, which is rule at all, and I'm taking this as a students. I'm creating a grid, and you can see new user has been created here. So that means this value has been set to the database. So in order to make a confirmation, let me confirm. Let me confirm whether I have been able to change the value or not. So let me just I have already, okay, not here. Let me just go to the Server Explorer, and let me right click here, and let me just to show table data. And you can see here Santi at the rate 123, and role student has been created. So this is how you work with the front end and the back end, everyone. So just by using these two steps, SQL connection, SQL command, and the execute non-query, we have been able to develop an app. We have been able to develop an app now. Still, we have to execute reader, data table, and the data set. Now, for now, what I will do, I will stop it for here now because I do not want to make things more complicated. So in the meantime, if you have any question, you can raise in the chat box. And what I can expect from you is you try this again in your home, and if you encounter any issue, you can let me know in a messenger. And I prefer not to use this method. I prefer not to use this method because this is very insecure way of writing programs. There are different reasons for making this program insecure. One of the reason is that I am working with a database on my front end, so this should never be done. The next thing is that I'm using a plus operator here, making a string concatenation, so this should not be done this way. All right, everyone. So this should absolutely be not done this way. So there are some alternative ways through which we can write a program in a more secure fashion, so which we will be discussing in our next upcoming classes once we finished something like a data table and a data set. So if you have a question, anyone, then please raise your question. If you have no question, then if you have any question, you can raise your question. Okay, Bijnay has a question. Once again, SQL statement. Okay, actually there is an electricity problem here, and I am not onto my room, so that maybe I will repeat my class. Will that work for you? Okay, again we'll repeat this all in our next session because I'm having a lot of difficulty here. But I request you everyone to just try this out in your home. I request you to try this in your home at least. And if you encounter a problem, please let me know. So I think it's better to end up today's session because still, if I start teaching you more, you won't be able to catch up with everything. Yeah, everybody facing difficulty. The electricity today it's at its worst now. Even the inverter is gone. So we'll start the session. I think we don't have a class tomorrow. So maybe in our next session I'll come back to you and then I'll just let you know. Until then, I'll also provide you the schedule for the second semester, okay? And then you can join that class. I think that is starting from tomorrow. I'll just let you know, everyone. So see you in the next week, everyone. Till then, you keep on trying this. I'll see you in the next week. Till then, take care of yourself.